What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be reviewing the Bateria Power MPPT controller. We're going to hook it up, we're going to run it through its paces, and then we're going to give it an eco score. Before we get into that, though, let's take a look around this bad boy. It's quite small. It's made of like a thin steel all the way around. Some other controllers on the market may have plastic and a combination of metal pieces, so it's nice to see that this is all metal. That should help a lot with heat. We have our connections here. This will be for a temperature sensor. You have your grounding port on the outside here, which is lacking in some other units. You have your Ethernet cable here to connect it to external Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, basically a bigger system. Or well, actually this doesn't have Bluetooth capability, so if you wanted to hook it up to a module, you could do that. And this is where you make all your connections. I like that it's hidden behind a cover here. You unscrew these two things and then open it up and you can make your connections there. I like that a lot. We press our buttons. Nice haptic feedback right there. Built very, very well. So yeah, with that said, let's go ahead. Oh, how could I forget the fan on the top? Now that might make this quite loud, louder than other units that don't use fans, that might just use its body with fins or something to have air pass through to cool it. But I do like this setup. I like the location of the fan because it'll be easier to replace if it goes out. And then also, you know, nothing's beating the fan to cool this thing off. So with that said, let's go ahead and get to the testing. All right, so here I am. I'm testing the Bateria Power. And this is a little, let's see if we can brighten this up. There we go, wake it up. You can see it charging. Let's go through the modes here. This battery, so the solar is producing about 32 volts. Let's go to the next. The battery is at 13.8 volts. 7.7 amps on the battery. There's a 1.1 amp low, and that's the power of the controller. And it's bringing in 104 watts of solar. Now, if we look here, it's basically producing the same, 99, 98. Now that's saying 100. So I do have a little bit of a shadow. So let's go ahead and slide it down a bit. All right, so that got rid of the shadow. And this is not angled properly or anything. I just wanted to set it up to test it out. And that's a 200 watt panel. And now that didn't make too much of a difference. 108 watts. Let's see what this is saying. 109. So pretty spot on. It was easy to hook up. I'm using all 10 gauge wire. This is pretty low wattage and voltage, so didn't need anything too crazy. And my battery started off at 88%. It's now at 90. So doing a great job there. Let's go back through this. We have a 15 watt load that's coming from the battery again to power the controller. Hasn't been running that long to give us any indicator of the load over time. But yeah, there you go. And once this is hooked up, you'll see, so if I turn off this breaker, we'll see the sun goes away and it's no longer charging. And it's just pulling power from the battery, and you see it up there, it says stop. So when I turn it back on, it's pretty instant. The sun comes out. We're at 43 volts. And let's check the watts. 110 watts, 114, and it's reading pretty much the same thing on the battery. So there you go. Works really well. Now I will keep this up to the point of this being completely charged to see what it will do. If it will automatically shut down, and it will say it's full, all of that, and we will be back to see what happens. All right, and now we are done. It just finished, and if we come here and take a look, we see that the load is coming back off from the battery into the controller. Or maybe it's coming from the solar. I don't know. Let's see. We kind of got to see what that is. But we do see it's full and it's no longer sending anything. So that's what's come from the solar panels. Got a load there. 42 volts. Battery's at 14 volts, completely full. It's not charging anything. Nothing's coming in from solar. So then this load must be coming from the battery. But it does say full. And there we go. Now, one thing to note, this did get loud. The fan kicked on, it got a little hot. It wasn't hot to the touch or anything, so that's good. It stays very cool, and I have it land on carpet. But the fan kicked on, and it was super loud. I tried to go grab my decibel meter and my thermometer, and by the time I did that, it already shut off. So it ran for like maybe 2 minutes, and it's been cool since. All right, and that is the Bateria Power MPPT controller. I do like the screen. I've used the Power Queen before, and I didn't like the data that the screen on the unit actually output. This is much better. You don't need an external app or anything. I would recommend it because it's always easier if this is in a hard to look place. But I do like all the information that's displayed. Very easy to use. The fan did kick on one time. It was quite loud, but it cooled off in like a minute, minute and a half. So that was also very good. Now let's go ahead and give it an eco score. All right, rating the Bateria Sunrock 60. Now first up, price. The price for the battery is about $150. Now, considering that this thing does 12, 24, 48 volts, a lot more than your average controller, that makes it okay, but the lack of Bluetooth really hurts it there, and it gets a 3. As far as cooling goes, the cooling is great. It has a fan, no fins, but it does have a fan, which generally you only need one or the other. However, fans can die, and then that will take you by surprise, and it gets a 4. We're going to reserve a 5 for a unit that has both fins and a fan, or 2 fans or something. As far as features go, it's pretty basic not having Bluetooth, especially for the price, and it gets a 3. Build quality is very good. It is made of all metal or aluminum, and it has a secret compartment for connecting ferrules. Now, while it's an extra hassle to get to, it will definitely prevent you from having any accidental arcing, and it gets a 5. In terms of warranty, this is kind of interesting because it doesn't say on their site, it doesn't say what the warranty is. Their other controllers have a 2-year warranty, so I'll assume that it has a 2-year warranty, so it gets a 2 with the asterisk there. And finally, overall value. I like the Sunrock for its capabilities. I like that on its screen, it will show you more data than the Power Queen, for example, but no Bluetooth really makes it difficult to go deeper into the settings and make adjustments, and it gets a 3 for a grand total of 20 out of 30.